I know that I don't have to be anybody else. I just have to be me, authentically me. And I don't know if I'm doing this right. My name is Brian Nigaman. My wife and I have been coming to the Ridge since it opened in Oak Creek. I used to come to this location when it was a movie theater, and I was like, hey, let's go to the movie theater church. And then we walked through the doors, and I was like, oh wow, this is completely different than anything I've ever experienced in church. For the longest time, I just sat in the chair. My wife started serving well before me in Ridge Kids, and she thrived. She loved it. She was developing relationships with people, and I was like, okay, cool, good for you. I started kind of getting jealous. So again, maybe my motives weren't pure in the beginning, but I was like, well, I'm gonna join the band because I want friends too. Before that even happened, we went through a couple of miscarriages, and that just kind of knocked me off my pedestal where I was just completely bitter about being here, period. And Lindsay kept coming, and she kept going and listening to the message, and I just sat there kind of just rolling my eyes like, okay, this is great. We just kind of struggled with like our outlook on life and being positive. And in this situation, I had no answer. I make no apologies about it. I started serving here because I was jealous of my wife. She was making friends and she was feeling good and overcoming her sadness. And I was like, hey, you can't do that alone. Like, I need to be able to do that too. So I just decided to just start serving here and just kind of developing like friendships with people. So in the beginning, Andy, who plays guitar here, he was really crucial in just kind of getting me to like dive in. I probably wouldn't have gotten baptized here if Caleb just nonchalantly just brought it up in conversation. The more and more I thought of it, and I was like, well, why can't I make a public declaration that I'm choosing to follow Jesus? Forrest really just kind of really planted the seed of leadership and kept nudging me to do more. And Matt, who plays drums, he's been great too. Yeah, there's been a bunch of guys. The next August, like a year of me serving, we were pregnant, and we did have a healthy baby. And that's when the real fear kicked in. It's like, oh, we now have a baby that's growing. I ask myself all the time what God has planned for me. Who does he want me to be? I don't know how to Christian properly, but I do know that I wake up every day and I keep trying. I keep asking God to talk to me, and I keep trying to listen. I do know people that I interact with, and they ask me, hey, what are you up to? And I'm like, this is what I'm doing. Really? You're going to church. This is what you're doing. Yeah, you should come check it out sometime. It really, really makes me happy. The fact that I'm able to have conversations with God. I didn't know how to pray before. I didn't know that you could talk to God. I didn't know that I could put my fears before God. I want to live in a way that makes others curious of what I'm doing. Because of this place, because of the people, because of the people that God's put in my life, they didn't need anything from me or want me to be something. They weren't like, hey, dude, you got to do this to fit in. They were there for us. No strings attached. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for my wife. She made it possible for me to come here. She made it possible for me to find friends. And she made it possible for me to have a relationship with Jesus. Jesus made it possible for her to do that. I have so much to gain and nothing to lose.